So Kadeem, debt is a topic that's come up in my conversations with young people and partners, and from the latest census data, youth unemployment is nearly 1% higher than the Surrey average. Do you think this contributes towards debt in young people, and how easy is it for a young person to feel isolated when it comes to their finances?
How easy is it for a young person to be exploited? How easy is it for a young person to get advice or be signposted to advice? Who is doing that work to support marginalised groups to ensure that everybody is being treated equally? Delivering this project has brought to my attention the challenges for young people in this area receiving this support. I've noticed that once you hit 18 to 19 in Elmbridge, or even in Surrey for that matter, it can appear you can be quite isolated from services, hence putting this event together. We want to pay recognition to these issues and Elmbridge and raise awareness as to what support is on offer. So if in Elmbridge you are 19 to 24, Citizens Advice Elmbridge West is leading a project to raise the awareness on the services that are available and for free.
And what are the various ways that people can fall into debt? Because it can be such a minefield for young people because they're so exposed to so much information and a lot of misinformation.
Exactly. We are trying to tackle misinformation by discouraging people to rely on advice from social media sources and go to trusted sources. Particularly now, Citizens Advice has developed digital services for young people. And it's a cause for concern that young people do not know where to go, and there is shame and a stigma around being in debt. And my research shows that young people are using gambling apps and lucky dips, lockboxes, loot boxes, and various gaming platforms. And I have concerns around young people's ability to pay long-term for even things like subscription services. For example, Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, and dating apps, etc.
And what would be your best advice to prevent young people from falling into debt, and how can they protect their friends and family?
You know, I think it's important to change the culture of how we approach finances with young people from Elmbridge to reduce the stigma. Currently, we want young people to start to think about how empowering it is to say that you are struggling with your finances in Elmbridge. There are some things to consider and adapt when thinking about engaging this subject, and the style of conversation, incentives to disclose. What can practically be achieved for the client, and empathy to understanding how the situation can pose a specific challenge to the young individual or resident. I also want us to think about what services are clearly waving a flag, encouraging contact from the Elmbridge young community on this subject.
So Kadeem, where do you recommend young people can go to in Elmbridge to get this support?
Please do come to Citizens Advice Elmbridge West. We are just opposite the Everyman Cinema and PA Housing in Walton. We are open for drop-in on Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 to 3:30 and Wednesdays 9:30 to 12:30. Fridays are appointment only, but please see our website. In order to access the support you need, our website is citizensadviceelmbridgewest.org.uk. Click on our advice tab and you'll be taken to how to get help, and then you can choose how you engage with us. It's a young person's choice to book themselves an appointment. Parents, carers cannot book appointments for them, but they are more than welcome to bring a family member or an advocate to support them during the appointment. It is important to mention that Citizens Advice is not a crisis service. For things like mental health, education, housing, there are a number of organisations who can support people in times of crisis. Citizens Advice Elmbridge West can support people during certain hours of the day, so don't forget to check out some helpful links in the description section of this video.